Ladies and gentlemen, Abdullah here from Freedom for All after a long time. In this video, I would like to talk about 3 steps to deal with sorrows. I know this is something not perceived to be an easy thing to do because of the bridges of events we go through in our life. But I want to tell you that sadness does help you grow stronger and better when you understand sorrows has purpose in life. Rumi once said, "Sorrow prepares you for joy. It violently sweeps everything out of your house, so that new joy can find a space to enter. It shakes the yellow leaves from the bough of your heart, so that fresh green leaves can grow in their place. It pulls up the rotten roots, so that new roots hidden beneath have room to grow. Whatever sorrow shakes from your heart, far better things will take their place." I try to explain how sorrows prepare you for joys and better things may take place after experiencing sorrows. The main reason behind sadness is that we prioritize our goals bigger than we really are. And the reason we seek goals bigger than our true self is because we simply forget about our true nature. But that is okay, and I mean it. It's perfectly alright to be sad. How you deal with sadness is important. First of all, you don't need to force yourself to feel good. If you are sad, you are feeling sad because you identify self more with your ego than your infinite consciousness. So don't feed your ego forgetting about who you are. Maybe there are practices where it is asked to use techniques to feel better when you are sad, but those are quite temporary and those kind of suppress the sadness you are supposed to experience. Instead, live with the sorrow for a moment alone. Try not to get distracted by anything else when you are sitting with your sorrows. If you feel you should cry, then don't hesitate to, because that way you would let your emotions out. After that, ask yourself, what's the source of your sorrow? Most likely you know the answer. The answer is your true infinite self is the ultimate source. But knowing this answer with your mind is not enough when you are more occupied by your ego. So, in the third stage, you would surrender your ego to God's infinite being, which is your own wonderful consciousness. But how do you surrender? I would say the way you find easier and comfortable to surrender is the best way for you. But what I do is to affirm, either inwardly or verbally, something like I may have experienced things that are sad, or I may have reasons to feel sad, but the true version of me is infinitely bigger than my tears or sorrows. You could even be attentive to either relationship with God's infinite being, where you address your true self as you and your human self as I. Neville Goddard once talked about it in his lecture called The Secret of Praying. He said, "I can feel the infinite being within me as my very self and yet address it as love and I-thou relationship. There is nothing strange in that. I can speak of it as thou and then know at the same time it is I." While using I-thou relationship, which I find easier to use, the affirmation would be something like, I might be going through things to be sad about, but you are my reality, my identity, and the source of my experience. You can basically generate your own statement. Lastly, in the post-third stage, feel the nature. Go back to the world after the completion of your surrender. See how it feels. I can tell you, when you see the world right after you are done surrendering to God's infinite being, you would notice the world is a reflection. That's the major sign that far better things are taking place for you. So here, I tried to explain how I deal with sorrows. I think life is a type of a journey where facing moments of sorrow, sadness, and dissatisfaction should be natural. Without this, it's hard to advance. Neville Goddard once said, "There would be no progress in this world were it not for man's dissatisfaction with himself." It's okay to be dissatisfied or disappointed in life, but knowing the true nature of self is important. I hope I was able to explain here how simply sorrows can be dealt with. Let me know how you usually deal with it. Hoping to see you soon. Cheers.